Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is NYC Z31 Al. I'm going to show you the Nistune software, and you can use this to tune your Z31 along with your Z32, 240 SXs, S13s, and S14s, including you folks that had swapped in SR20DETs. Works with all that stuff. You could think of this as Han data for Nissans. I guess that's really the best way to describe it. So the way this works is you send your electronic control unit. There's a piece of read-only memory in there that you take out, and there's one of two ways you can do it. You can either order the daughter board from Nistune, or you can send it to Australia and they'll put it in there for you, test it and everything. And they'll also program it with the stock program of your choice. So in my case, I went with the 87 Turbo program. But you could download all the others from the Nistune website as well. So basically what happens is they put the daughter board into your ECU, they put a program in there, and you put it right back in. So it basically uses your stock computer. It has a USB port, and all you do is just run the USB port back into your laptop. Alright? It's too easy. And then the black connector there is for the wideband, for the LC102 sensor. Alright? Nistune can read that and display the your air-fuel ratios as well. So this is the Nistune home screen right here. I've loaded the address file for the Z31 ECU, and we're going to go ahead and connect it. Alright? So right now we're connected to the car's computer, and I'll pull up the gauges. All right. So here you can see some basic information about your car, such as your cylinder head temperature, how many volts your battery's putting out, the throttle position sensor, how much timing the car is running at the moment, tachometer or speedometer, tachometer, and over here it'll show you any messages that are coming from the ECU. So rather than trying to run codes, trying to count the lights and everything, you could just look in here and it'll tell you any codes that the ECU is throwing out. Very useful if you want to diagnose those problems. Alright. Then over here we're going to go ahead and turn on the wideband, and here, as you can see, it is now displaying your wideband, or the output from your wideband sensor, and it shows you your air-fuel ratios. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the synchronization screen. Alright, what I'm going to do is you can do one of two things. You can either load a program into Nistune and then load it onto the ECU, or you can grab what's on the ECU and sync it to the Nistune. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab what's on the computer now and then load it into Nistune, PC Sync. Alright, so it grabs all the tables. Now it's running the map that is downloaded off the ECU. Alright, so what I'm going to do first thing, I'm going to pull up the fuel map. Alright, so here's a fuel map. Right now it's set to the targeted air fuel ratio, but you can go ahead and change that to the raw values if you want, or filter values or whatever. And then here it shows a map, 3D representation of where your air fuel ratios are going to be at. So again, here at idle, we want to be near stoic. Here in the transition areas where we start going rich, and then once we're in boost, we want to be rich. Alright, as you see here on the air fuel ratios, when we're under boost, we want to be on the high 10s, transition area in the 12s and 11s, and off boost, we want to be near stoic, around 14.7. Alright, now, Slick, if you do me a favor, just go ahead and start pumping the throttle. Alright, since Nistune is connected to the ECU right now, you can see that as Slick changes as he gives it some gas, the cursor on the fuel map is going to move. Alright, Nistune has real-time map tracing. So as you're going down the road or whatever, the cursor will change depending on your load factor and your RPM. The cursor will move, so it'll show you where on the fuel map the computer's reading off of at the time. Alright, and you can see your air fuel ratio. So you can see, like right now I have targeted air fuel ratios. So if under boost I want to be around 10, and my air fuel ratios are around 10, then I know, I'm in the ballpark. Alright, so there's a fuel map. And then you can also go in here and change groups of cells, or one cell at a time, whatever. Alright, and then where's my cursor at? Same thing for the timing map. Alright, here we have our timing map. Again, you know, we want to advance the timing when we're off boost. Once we start coming off boost, we want to retard the timing. And then once we go on boost, you know, we want to retard the timing further, as it shows here on the 3D representation. Advanced timing off boost starts pulling back the timing once we go into boost, and then once we're in boost, it'll retard the timing. Alright, really useful stuff. Over here on the top is a load factor. As you start adding power, your load factor is going to increase farther and farther. There's a table that you can change here to add more columns to your load factor, so it can accommodate, you know, higher horsepower cars. And as far as what maximum amount that this Nistune can handle, I don't think anybody's really reached that level yet. You know, and if you're going really that crazy, you know, we're talking 600, 700, 800 horsepower there. You're probably going to go to a full standalone anyway. All right. So those are the fuel and the timing maps. Those are the main things you'll be working on when you're tuning the car. Now here is your K constant. All right. When you put bigger injectors, you'll have to adjust this. All right. Right now I have 165, which works pretty well with the 420cc Mercedes-Benz injectors that I have. As you lower the constant, when you lower the constant, it'll change the air-fuel ratios. As you change the constant, it'll change your air-fuel ratios. So you can go ahead, once you put your bigger injectors, you can adjust this value until you get more or less in the ballpark with your air-fuel ratios. The K constant affects more when you're on load. Alright, and then we have the constant, and then we have the latency. Alright? Depending on which injector you get, it'll have a different latency value. Alright? So with many injectors that you get, the latency value is known, so you'll just be able to put that in. This affects more the air-fuel ratios near idle. Alright, so you want to adjust this to get your air-fuel ratios where you want around idle. Okay? I'm running a little rich right now because I still have some work to do on this tune on idle. Alright? Here we have the rev limiter. Alright, once you upgrade your valve train, you can go ahead and change that. And then here we have the speed limiter. Alright, right now it's set to stock 220 kilometers an hour, but once you get a bit more power and you feel like going crazy, you can just do whatever you want with that. Alright, or you can just put it to maximum if you want to basically turn it off. Alright, so those are the basic things that you'll want to work at with the Nistune, okay? And the other nice thing here is the logging. You could turn on the log and you could do a run down the street, and Nistune will track several different values for you, and then once you're done you can go back and look at it and you can go ahead and compare everything. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now and show you what it all looks like. Alright, so we went ahead and did a quick run in third gear. Alright, and here's a log right here. Here's a portion of the log that's corresponds to what I did here. So, you know, right here I'm showing RPM, I'm showing my air-fuel ratio, I'm showing my timing. So what I do is, let's say, you know, here, at this particular point in the log, I was at 2,337 RPM. I was running 20 degrees timing, and my air-fuel ratio was 13.39. Alright, so what I can do is, as you go up in the log, the cursor in the fuel map changes. So you can go back in the log, see where in the log you want to see what's going on with the fuel map. So here, for example, at based on the cursor, I should be around 12 air-fuel ratio, but my actual air-fuel ratio is 13. All right, so I'm running too lean. So knowing that, I can go back into my constants here, you know, and maybe I should change the 165 to 175. You know, that's basically how you do it. You do your run, get your log. The log shows you where, it shows you what was going on with their fuel, and your timing, and then you can see how close you are with your constants. All right, and then once you're close with your constants, you can go on the dyno, see how your boost is coming in, and then you can make your adjustments in the fuel map to make sure you got the right amount of fuel at the right amount of time. And then once the fuel map is perfected, you can go back into the timing map and start tickling the tail of the dragon basically with the timing, you know. go on the dyno, see where your peak torque is, and you just basically keep raising the timing until you can't create any more torque, or you hit detonation, one of the two. Alright, and that's basically how it goes. It's real simple. Nistune, back when I got it, cost about 450 bucks to my door. Alright, the Australian dollar is weaker nowadays, so it's a little bit cheaper. So you have no reason to not get this. Alright, no reason to not get this unless you're going full standalone. Thanks.